around 12. Oh, still morning anyway, it's not 12 yet. Trust you are doing well. I just want to give a quick tip. Many people have been asking question, what are the tips for UF visa interview? And I want to give quick tips on uh, US visa interview, what you actually should expect and what you are expected to say. Number one, you need a good reason to come to the US. That's one thing. So for people who just want to say, oh, maybe I just find a place, a conference, a blah blah blah, a good reason, and that implies looking for your strong point. Now, I used to say it to everyone. Everyone has that strong point. I call it strong. I can't remember what exactly what I call it. I remember, but you need to look for that your strong point to say, oh, why am I coming? Then you pick your strong point. You have your strong foot. You need to present your strong argument. Okay, for example, someone who is saying, oh, I'm coming for a PhD program. One of your strong arguments could be that, oh, I'm a first class graduate from the University of blah blah blah. If the University of Ibadan, just mention I'm a first class graduate from the first and the best university in Nigeria. Of course, University of Ibadan is the first university in Nigeria, right? You need to present those strong points, those strong arguments to the visa interview. You want to talk to the official, and the visa official is saying, "Wow, wow, wow." So you need to pick that your strong point. Everyone has that strong point. Everyone. Your own strong point might be that you've won a lot of scholarships. Okay, your education was funded with scholarship from maybe MTN Foundation, one oil company, blah blah blah. When you go for your interview, you need to find a way to throw all those points into your responses. Okay, so you just don't go there and say, I graduated with a 2-1 from blah blah blah. No, what is that thing that will impress that visa official? That just that we're saying, wow, wow, wow. What you want to go and study can be also your strong point. For example, you want to go and study nuclear physics. Don't just say I'll be studying a physics course there. Put that point in nuclear physics. When you mention that, the visa official will be like, oh, wow. Sometimes it can be your school, the school you are going to study. You want to say, oh, you are studying in, let's say, you official ask you, what are you going to do in the United States? Your first answer will be, let's say you are going to Harvard, for example. Your first answer should be that I'm going to study XYZ at Harvard University, one of the key top universities in the world. You want to show your strong point, show the view that you are the best in what you do. Simply like what you are going to do in the United States is not just what should I call it now? It's something of big values, of substantial value. That's what you want to show. Okay. Sometimes your own strong point can be the type of work you already do in Nigeria. Let's say you already work in an oil company and you are making six figures. Six figures in Nigeria is nothing now. Seven figures. Okay, you are making 7 figures per month. You want to put that point in. You want to find one of the questions to put that answer in and say, um, working in an oil company, let's say Shell, Chevron, Mobil, blah blah blah. You want to put that point in and say, and I earn XYZ salary, maybe 2 million per month, blah. You want to put those points in so that the viewer is looking at you like, wow, 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 wow. So, and it does not even matter, it can be any visa type. Okay, it can be any visa type. It doesn't even have to be student. For example, let's say you are going for a conference, you are a professor, you are going for a conference, a lecturer, you are going for a conference, and you already have patents. You want to put that point in to show that I have patents. Okay, I have patent. I'm an innovator. I've done this and that. You want to try and find a way to insert that into your answers. Okay, your strong points. You want to find a way to always put it there when you go for your visa interview. If you have done something, let's say you are teaching, you lecture at the University of Ibadan, for example, electrical electronics engineering, and then one of your students had won something that you supervised, and then won something all over the world. In Nigeria, then there are a couple of students in petroleum engineering who won different awards. They went to represent Nigeria. They came here to the US. If you are a lecturer and you have some of those students as your student, you want to find a way to insert some of these points. Okay, so most things about the visa interview which I've seen, not even just for student visas alone, even for visiting visas and all those things, is that they want to hear something that blows their mind away, that makes them say wow. They want to hear something that says this person is wow, 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 wow. In fact, someone went to do interview recently. The first few questions, their first few answers, the visa official just kept saying wow, 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 wow. Till the visa official issued the visa, she kept saying wow, wow, wow. And I believe everyone has such point. Everyone has such strong point, and it's only left for each person to discover what their own strong point is. For someone else, it may be that the person wrote GRE and you have a very fantastic score. If you have a GRE score of 320, for example, find a way to include it in your responses. 320 out of 340. Okay, you will find a way to include it. In fact, some of those visa officials don't even know how GRE is graded, I mean, in the first place. So it's your duty to include it and say, oh, I have the GRE score of 320 out of 340, which is in the, let's say, 90th percentile. You want to include those points, those things that make you stand out, that make your application stand out. Everyone has such a point, and that's the purpose of this video. And if you are in that situation, maybe you are preparing for a what do you call it now, an interview, you are preparing for anything of the like, try to look out for your own strong point. Very important. Look out for your own strong point. Everyone has that strong point, okay? And then you don't want to live in regret, knowing that you did not highlight your own strong points, your own strong foot, and put your best foot out there. It's very important. I will still make a video on this to talk about this in general, but this is just a short video. You can see this is live in vertical form. It was meant to be 1 minute, but I think I went beyond the 1 minute, which is meant to be a short, but okay, it's fine now. All right, thank you, take care. I'm going to come out with that video very soon to highlight those strong points that people can actually use. This I'll focus basically on students using different people that are known as an example. It will be on F1, F2 visa, and that's how I'm going to do it. All right, so yeah, take care. Take care. I'm not taking question. Question. Okay. Let me come to question because you are here already. So Emmanuel, you said for F2 visa application, what's meant to be your strong point? Your spouse will be your strong point first and foremost. Okay, your spouse, what your spouse is doing. If your spouse is studying something, if your spouse is on scholarship, that's a strong point. Highlight it. If your spouse is on scholarship, your spouse is on full scholarship. I mean, don't just assume that they know that your spouse is on scholarship. Don't assume. Don't assume they know your spouse is. If your spouse is on scholarship, earning big money, highlight that is a big strong point for you. Your place of work, whatever job you are doing, it depends on what the job is. It can be a strong point for you. Okay, if you are earning something big, even as an F2 applicant, that can be a strong point for you. I know someone who, when she was doing her F2 interview, the VO asked her how long she's going to spend. She mentioned, I think, 4 weeks or 6 weeks or something. And then the VO said, and the VO told her, but you can stay there. You can stay there for however long you want. And she told the VO that no, she's a businesswoman. She has a business, fashion designing business, and she cannot stay in the US. It's with December time, and then she needs to come back to really make money, because that's the time she has her customer come to her, make a lot of money and the like. And she told the visa official that she can't stay in the United States during those periods when she should be making money in Nigeria. That's a strong point. Those type of businesses, that type of job, so that can be your strong point, Emmanuel. The type of job you do, it can be your strong point. What your spouse is doing, what your spouse is studying. See, the VO will look at your spouse. Let's say your spouse is studying something like um, during the height of COVID, they were looking for those who were studying things that has to do with infectious disease, doing all those stuff. If your spouse is studying things that has to do with those kind of things, or cancer research, or something that everybody knows all around the world, everybody knows that we need people who can provide solution to this. Use that as a bragging right. It's one of the things you can actually mention, Emmanuel. It's one of the things you can actually mention. So These are the things you can use. It can be your strong point. I hope that that answer is clear to you. Um, okay, so I will assume that answer is clear to you. Anything you, sometimes you can look some strong points. Sometimes you can look to some people as, oh, it does not matter, or they should know, or blah blah blah. No, you need to highlight it in a way, paint it such that they will see, wow, wow. You want to impress. Let me just put it this way: you want to impress the VO with your credential or the credential of your spouse or whatever it may be, even if it's a visiting visa, the credential of the person you are going to visit, or the type of conference you are attending, or the type of meeting you are attending. You want to impress the VO. Let the VO keep saying, wow, wow, really, really, wow. Of course, you shouldn't lie. It should be things you actually own, things you actually do, or things that are attached to you. But you want to paint it well, such that the viewer will look at it and like, wow, this is interesting, this is beautiful. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. All right. I hope that answered your question, Emmanuel. Okay. I think I can end this session now. This is 11 minutes already. That looks like a proper video to do, but maybe I'll still do a proper video to still talk about this well, because I've seen quality examples these days that if I know. Let me not go into that. I'll probably go into that in the video that I will make for this. All right. Thank you so much for joining those who joined. God bless you real good.